What's up, guys? This is James Ardolino with Rufiano TV and Gold Table Real Talk Podcast. Tonight we have another video of our little buddy Red Nichols. This is episode 2, right? So what happened was this last video we talked about some things that were said about the holsters, about the guns falling out. So I want you guys stay tuned and we're going to see if the fucking guns fall out. You know what I mean? So we're going to start the video off first. First of all, he says that we don't have enough notoriety. My dad's never been a player in the game, Jerry Ardolino, who's the original trademark owner of the original Dirty Harry shoulder holster, right? So, just like I said, at the end of the video, we're going to try to not make this that long. You have to excuse the lighting. Like I said, we're getting shit done in the background, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, we've got a group of holsters here. We've got a Glock 17, we've got a Highway Patrolman, 6-inch barrel, and a Model 296. That's the holster that Red Nichols said his gun fell out. It fell out. The problem is before he took it apart and tried to mutate the spring and mutate the whole construction of the actual holster, he forgot to put the gun back in and do a fucking video, right? So we've got a Model 29 4-inch barrel, which was also in question. We have a holster by that he said, well, ours is by J.M. Buckheimer, of course, which my dad's a registered trademark owner of that as well. He said that there is no holster, let's say 30 years down the road, that can literally, an upside down rig, other than the Bianchi rig that he supposedly designed or helped design or whatever the fuck he said, no holster can actually retain the firearm this many years down the road, that many years down the road. We're here to prove that wrong. So like I said, let's just jump into the video, right? So, for us not being that known, we have a couple things here that I just want to show you. And we were written up in a feature. It was a feature article, and it was in, and again, I have my Doberman, so if you hear noise in the background, we're just doing a raw video for you guys. We're not editing anything out. It was written up in Shotgun News, okay? The September 6, 2010 issue. Peter Kokalis, ex-Special Operations, okay, MAC-5 SOG Group, Vietnam, and, whoops, excuse me, I'm sorry, right there, what do we see? STU shoulder holster. That's the shoulder holster we're going to be showing you tonight live right here. So we've got that, okay? We'll put that right over here. We've got also the STU that was written up in American Cop, okay? And if you look right here, that right there, built for the toughest duty and harshest environments, Lawman Leathers STU, which I now own. Incredible, durably, and it can simply be washed with antibacterial cleansers, dried and returned to its duty. It doesn't hurt, that it's comfortable as well. Okay. According to Red Nichols, they all write puffery. Yes, some people pay extra money, or, you know, if you do an ad, you get a write-up, and we're getting to that. And some of these little write-ups, yeah, that's what they do. But let me explain what the fuck they don't do. I'm going to explain that to you guys. Okay, here. Now, this isn't even, this is out of England. This is Gunmark, right? Here's another full write-up. This is a huge write-up. 1 page, 2 page, a 3rd page. Never invented anything. Red Nichols said my dad's never designed anything. He was one of the first people to do a holster, I believe he was, for the Super Red Hawk, a scoped handgun, exotic skins, the Bushcrafter bandolier, the STU shoulder holster, all these things. The Model 298 with that Bianchi Phantom piece of shit, that never made it. It was in one of the Dirty Harrys, but it didn't really make it. Couldn't compete as well. This is another one by Gun World. This is another feature. Guys, these are features. We don't pay for these. Okay, let me explain something about features to everybody in a magazine. They're not going to take, these publications, they're multi-million-dollar companies. They're not going to take somebody's, an extra $2,000 fucking dollars or whatever, you know, money under the table to write up some bullshit thing to ruin their name and ruin their publication, okay? There's some companies out there that have so much money, they can buy out the fucking publication, dissolve the corporation, and there's nobody that can literally advertise. There wouldn't be anybody around literally in the existence of media as far as, you know, magazines to even advertise in. So not everybody's doing that, okay? But here you go again. This is written up, and this was written up by, I think it's Leroy Thompson. Yeah, Leroy Thompson. Again, he was a para jumper, I believe, for the Air Force and also an Army Ranger. He's trained with and trained actual special forces. He's trained with them and has been on missions with them all over the fucking world. And he said right here is a write-up. He said, I used to carry my 58 in a Dirty Harry shoulder rig, and almost simultaneously with getting in the 58 Classics, I got in the new Dirty Harry rig, which has been reintroduced by Lawman Leather, the original producer of the Dirty Harry. This guy's been in the business just as long as Red Nichols, okay? So, Red, come on, man. Here we go, man. Another feature. I see like 2 or 3 articles. It's cute. I like it. It's cute what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? On your website. Where's all your articles, man? Here, another feature. Right here. That's me stitching a holster, head of manufacturing. This was a while back, right? There he is fitting one of the people that came out to do the interview. That's my dad there. There's the STU shoulder holster. There's the Rio Concho Western rig. There's the holster where the gun supposedly falls out. There's the 1911. You know, this list goes on and on, okay? Now those are articles. We'll pause. That's a fucking ad right here. This is a fucking ad. You know what I mean? That's an ad, okay? Some people get little articles, some people get big articles. Here's another one by Flint Hansen. Having a quality holster involves a lot more than stopping at your local gun store and picking up a one-size-fits-all. He's putting a Les Baer in there. That gun's like $4,000 or $5,000. Okay, it's a special 1911 and Lawman Leather Goods STU shoulder holster, ready for the streets. Listen, there it is right there. That's a huge write-up. Why? Listen, these people don't just put the guns in it and take a picture. They test this stuff. Just like at all the SHOT shows, they have a day where everybody goes out and tests stuff. These writers go out and test. SWAT magazine, man. Come on. This shit, you can't buy this shit. You know? Red, you got to make this shit to put in there. You know? And then he's trying to say what we said and trying to say my dad said this about Buckheimer and he did this when he didn't do this and did this but didn't do that. Listen, it's literally right here. Here's another one. This is it right here. By the way, every magazine that you see, every single review that you see, and there's about 300 to 400 more. We don't have time. But basically, there's the STU. That's the 41 mag is in there. And it says right here, the design originated with the Clark Company in Los Angeles, California prior to World War II, and later purchased by the East Coast firm of Buckheimer, back in Maryland, only to be purchased by Jerry Ardolino of Lawman Leather Goods. He never said that he made it for that movie. It was the holster in the movie. He owns the trademark. It's right here. It was purchased by Jerry Ardolino of Lawman Leather Goods. So here's my thing. If you're doing research for your book, or anybody's doing research in the world, I don't care who it is, you got to really do your research. If you're saying it's history, you got to really dig deep to find that history out. Obviously, he didn't find the history out. It's in a fucking magazine. It's actually in almost every single one of these magazines, right? Here's another feature. Look, listen, guys, we can keep going all day long. I mean, we could do this all day long. This is insane. Okay, all right. Here's the guy who he basically kissed his ass for so many years, and I guess that's why he's after us. I have no idea. There's Bianchi. There we are right there. There's the Western rigs right there. I mean, listen. That's an ad. There's a difference between an ad and a write-up, right? Here's another write-up, a little feature, okay, for a Webley Mark IV, 7-inch barrel. Okay, there it is right there. The first page, Draw Like Doc Holliday by Fred Capabianco. Here's the dandy rig. The Arizona Dandy. Here's the tooled version. I'll see if I can get up close there for you guys. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's a first page write-up. This motherfucker's nuts, for real. But that's all right. I'm crazy. And I'm going to end the magazine shit with this right here. You know what I mean? Here's American Handgunner. Sammy Reese. Right there. STU shoulder holster. Dirty Harry shoulder holster. I made both of those rigs for Sammy Reese for American Handgunner for that article. That they requested one, then they requested the STU. He wanted to do both. And again, Leroy Thompson. Very few people in the industry get write-ups that big. You hear that, Red? Very few people. Where are you in these magazines? I want to know. How could you say, and you wrote in an email, and you put on your website, I guess you did see my video, actually, because now that I think of it, in the last video, which for people who missed the last video, you can go here, up here to this link, is going to be at the end of the video. To subscribe, you can go up to the upper right. But when I said he wasn't even in the game, he wasn't even playing in the game, he was on the bench, he comes back and says, oh, well, your dad was never an actual player. How was he not a player, man? He was on the starting fucking team. You know, he was on first string, you know what I'm saying? Right there. I made that holster for him, Leroy Thompson, which is one of the most respected gun writers, okay? Like I said, in the industry, Peter Kokalis, Mac 5, SOG Group, editor. He was the editor of Soldier of Fortune magazine. He was in Vietnam. He used these motherfucking holsters. You know what I'm saying? Leroy Thompson's used these fucking holsters. You know what I mean? Let's see. Sammy Reese, I believe was an ex-cop at the time. He uses these fucking holsters. You understand what I'm saying, Red? These people actually use this shit. Okay? And you're talking about the Bianchi X15. The spring cover is on the outside now, so the sights don't get hung up, so people can use it in an everyday use, whether it's hunting, whether it's a tactical situation, and it can be used in a tactical situation, because my dad was an ex-Chicago cop working the ghetto. It's in the book, actually. That link's going to be in the description if someone wants to pick it up. He never lost that gun. You know what I'm saying? Here's a book, The Counter-Terrorist Manual by Leroy Thompson, dedicated to me in 2010 because I know the guy. You know, here's the thing. This is Frontline Books out of London, Red. Not self-published, out of London. See, they picked his book up, and just to let you know, he's got everything in this book. Everything and anything you can think of. So listen, guys, fuck all this, right? Everybody knows who we are. We don't even need to attend a SHOT Show if we don't want to. In fact, I haven't attended a SHOT Show in 9 years. I don't need to attend a SHOT Show. Like I said, you came out with your own line. It's not going anywhere, but yet you're making fun of us, right? You're saying that a gun falls out, which it doesn't, which we're getting ready to prove right now. You heard? We're going to prove that shit right now. Then you come out with another trademark. You knock El Paso Saddlery out of Texas and El Paso, that they're working under the same name, and it's the same people, and it's the same brand. It's not the same people. It's the same brand. Okay, so they bought a brand, even though it's new people. You did the same thing with Burns Martin. That's what they did. They're carrying on the tradition, and they do damn good leather work, too. They do pretty good stuff. So, all right, without further ado, guys, here we go. Right here. This is unloaded, okay? This is the model 296, the original Dirty Harry shoulder holster. This has got an end frame model type, My Highway Patrolman, and it's a 357, okay? So, here's what we're going to do, man. We're going to turn this upside down, okay? We're going to turn it upside down, and we're going to shake. We're going to shake. We're going to shake this motherfucker. We're going to shake and bake this motherfucker right there, right? We're going to shake it. Come on. Where's it at, Red? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where? Here, let me show you where. Where's it at? Where's it at? Come on. It's not falling out, Red. Ah, go. Hey. Sorry, that's my dog. Again, this is not loaded. Where's it at? But here's the cool thing. I'm a lefty. This is for a righty, right? But here's the thing. Look at that. Good retention. But look at Red. Look. But when you need it, it's out, isn't it? Yeah. And then when you need it to go in, again, I'm left-handed. When you need it to go in, you can even hear that snap. Here we go. Now, it's still not falling out. It's still holding retention. End frame, 357, 6-inch Highway Patrolman. That is the holster, but in black. The red Nichols cut out, mutated the spring, fucked it up on purpose to try to give us a bad name. Obviously, we don't have a bad name. You can try, but you ain't gonna win. Then, now what we've got is the STU shoulder holster. This is my personal one. This is a left hand. I've got the safety strap off. I am going to be a little careful with this one. Okay? We're going to tilt that up and away. We're going to hold here. And I'm going to be careful, and there's a reason why. And I'll show you why. Come on, Red. Come on, Red. Now, let me show you why. Because when you need it, it's there. Now, let me explain why I'm being careful with this. This is a Glock 17 Gen 5. I've got 17 in the clip. Yeah, I don't say magazine all the time. You know, I like to say clip. We're old school here. 17 in the clip, 1 in the chamber. But it works, don't it? It does. It works, and we're going to do that nice safely. I'll put that in. Like I said, you'll have to excuse my dog. And the safety strap goes on like so. Okay? That's the Glock 17 Gen 5. I've got some grips also on that. If you see, those are my personal grips. We also have something that we just launched recently, which is the STU Ghost Grips Pistol Grip Wraps. Go ahead and hit us up. Link will be in the description down below for those as well. Now, the main gun, the model 29-2 Smith & Wesson end frame 44 Magnum, and our model 444 shoulder rig. We're going to load this up. Again, I'm left-handed. We're going to put that gun in there nice and tight. Okay, and we can see from there, the spring does spread when it goes in. I mean, it has to fucking spread, you know what I'm saying? So there we go there. We're going to do the shake test, though. You ready? Sure. Quiet. Why, he always acts this way when I'm doing a fucking video, you know what I mean? Go over there. All right, we're shaking. We're shaking. We're shaking, Ren. Here we go. This is how we got to do it in this company. I'm going to show you why. Upside down, opposite way. We're shaking. We're shaking. Here's why. Let me show you why. We test with real ammunition. Because if it doesn't work for us with real ammunition, it's not going to work out there in the field or in the street. Okay? Now, last but not least, the upside down rig that he said no upside down rig is going to last that long unless it's Bianchi's. It's a piece of shit. I can't stand people. Don't say ever. Don't say that there's nobody out there that compares. Because Buckheimer compares, the original Dirty Area compares, and actually it doesn't compare. It far exceeds that. This is a Smith & Wesson J-frame, nickel. I can't get it out. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. But it's still not coming out. I'm twisting it. It's not coming out. This ain't supposed to be like a major entertainment video. This is a video to show you that this is real, okay? It's not coming out, but when it's an upside down rig, it comes out. That's how it's supposed to come out. That is how it's supposed to work. Everybody on the forums and everybody say, and Nichols and everybody, this elastic is what keeps the gun in. It's not. That spreads it. This helps draw and reholster. This little hook here, it goes in like that, and you hear that snap. That's what holds it. So, Red, I just proved you wrong again. Bianchi's rig isn't the only one that can outlast any other upside down rig around for this many years down the road. Guess what? Buckheimer Clark and J.M. Buckheimer and the original Dirty Harry, and this one specifically, they all outlast Bianchi. And they always will. Always and forever. I want you to remember that, Red. You hear that? You too, John Whitty. I got the email where I tried to give you a chance to get out of this and recall a truce. And you came back wanting to play games. And we can post those up in a couple days. By the way, everybody, the video that I made about a week ago, everything's up on the site. It's all right there to read. Shot for shot. It's all his words. Nothing's been edited. Nothing's been taken away. All right? I'm just here to show you guys this is how it works, you know? We also have, this is a cool another thing when I said we have one of the knife lines. This is one of the lines that we came out with, okay? This is a nice knife. It does a lot. This is the Tanto style blade. At the price, listen, that's another myth out there. I don't want to get sidetracked. I'm just trying to tell you guys, you don't need to spend $300 or $400 on a knife. Your local gangbanger spends like 10, 20 bucks tops. Sometimes he steals something, he doesn't even know where it's from. He uses it, he does what he's got to do, and he gets the job done. And he's doing it, it's not the right way to do it, and it's not right what they're doing. But what I'm trying to say is, you do not need to go spend $350 because of all these Navy SEALs. Listen, I love Navy SEALs. My grandfather was one of the first frogmen around, okay, in World War II. But you don't need all that. You need just a good blade that's not going to break, that's going to pierce. It's going to, when you go to thrust it in somebody or something or whatever you decide to do, it will destroy. And these work. This literally cuts a watermelon in half. I've done it. We're going to be doing some torture test videos on this. This is a great knife. It comes with this sheath, but we are going to be offering either leather or a personal Kydex sheath, okay? So we have that. We offer that as well. And listen, I want to stop and say thank you to a good friend of mine. He was actually started out as a customer. He's a good friend. His name is Joseph Matthews, and he ordered two holsters. So far, his fucking guns haven't fallen out, Red. And he didn't just order 2 holsters. He ordered another holster. And I have some shorts of him shooting on my YouTube video. He's pretty fucking good. And I got to say, I can't do that kind of Western style shooting as good as he can. Nowhere near. I mean, this guy's good. And we're going to do a review. I'm getting ready to show you something. But he bought another one. So he's got 3 Dirty Harrys. He's got a left and a right hand because he shoots the ambidextrous, which is nuts, a 44 mag. And then he's got one for his 8 3/8 inch barrel. And then he wanted to do a trade with one of my dual gunners for an STU shoulder holster. And guys, I got to tell you something. And Red, you know, Whitty, he got to be in your fucking book, this guy. You know what I'm saying? This holster rig right here, this was made personally for me to carry the 4-inch Model 29 around. And I just want to show you guys how nice this work is. I mean, this guy did such a nice job, you know. I hope this is even coming through, really. I really do. I mean, he did everything. This is all by hand. He doesn't use a machine. He didn't use anything. I mean, this is a beautiful rig when you look at it up close. This is a beautiful, this is a beautiful rig. Everything's done to, I guess, their shooting standards, because like I said, he's a cowboy shooter, cowboy, you know, Western style shooting, single action and all that. I mean, just every bead by hand, every stitch was by hand, and everything is suede lined on the back. Everything's mounted perfectly. Red, I got a little secret for you. This rig, and I'm just going to keep showing it because I want people to see this guy's work. See, we actually give credit where credit's due. You understand what I'm saying, Red? We don't bash people. And I'm here to tell you that I'll never make myself probably a Western rig unless it's for fun, because I've got one. And anything else that I have other than the ones my dad has made for me that he's designed by himself, I don't need anything else but this rig. I'm happy with this rig. And you know what? I don't think I could do better of a job than Mr. Joseph Matthews. I just want to thank you out there, because this was a great, this is something that I will always cherish, man. I really do like this rig, and I kept him on the phone for 40 minutes that day, thanking him over and over. And I mean, he used Herman oak leather. That's like wood, man. That's why, you know, Herman oak, that's some of the best stuff you can use. He just did a great job. So Joseph, thank you for this. Thank you for being a customer. And you know, I'm gonna get that custom knife sheet from him now, because now I'm not making anything else. Whatever I add to this rig is gonna be made by this man. And here's the part that I want to get to, and this is for you viewers and for Red, because Red thinks he's so good. Red, for doing it 50 years, and you're sitting here trying to bash someone else that's been around for 50 years, and anybody else out there who's had, like, I don't know, they bought a trademark and they're doing, or maybe they're doing something different, or maybe some people might have just made some mistakes or errors in what they said. I don't know. You know, they're all doing good and they're all trying, right? And here you are trying to fuck everybody up with the fuckery, holstery, whatever the fuck kind of book you're up. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you think you're doing, which I'm proving to you little by little. The book ain't working. Okay? The blogs and the holster and the guns falling out, it's not working. Nothing falls out of anything here. You understand? All right? To all the motherfuckers on the forum, nothing fell out. All right? So the forum can go fuck themselves. You heard? You heard that too, right? But I'm going to tell you something. You look at this beaded work. You look all the way down this rig. You look how nice this rig is. I'll put it up again. You know what, Red? He's made these for a few family members and some friends. This isn't even a part-time gig. This guy has more talent than you'll ever fucking have. He'll have more talent than ever, man. This gentleman, and I said gentleman because he is a true gentleman. He's a classy man. He works in a very a certain field that I'm not able to discuss because he's a serious individual. But I will tell you right now that he's probably, and I don't think he minds me saying this, he's lucky if he's made, I know he's made one for family members, like I said, and some friends. Man, he's probably ain't made more than 20 or 30 of these. You've been doing this your whole fucking life, you know what I mean? If this guy did this for 50 years, okay, his shit would be better than Joe Bowman. He'd be right up there with Roy Rogers with some of the shit you did, and you're sitting there making fun of everybody, but guess what? And this isn't knocking Mr. Matthews. He did some beautiful work here. And actually, this is better than a lot of recent work I've seen of yours, Red. You're knocking our stuff. I just proved some shake tests. You're knocking our stuff. And for everybody out there, I want you to know the only gun that was loaded was the Glock and this one here, okay? So, you know, before we get any kind of keyboard warriors and how to handle fucking guns and all that shit, like, okay, we don't shoot ourselves here. We know how to handle guns. This is real, okay? My dad is the author of that book, Extreme Cop. He's a real ex-cop. He did work with an SOG group, okay? He was an advisor in other areas, in other fields, okay? He was a real gun hand, and still is. He is GIA, Gemological Institute of America, certified with gold and diamonds and fine art and fine jewelry. As a matter of fact, for not being able to design a holster, he's shown art. He's an artist and has been shown in galleries on the West Coast and the East Coast, in Santa Fe, in Taos, New Mexico. We used to get invited on family vacations to go to the Taos Pueblo. So listen, guys, Red, every motherfuckers on the forum, you guys have now met your match. Joseph Matthews is every bit as good as you because he's hardly ever done it. You've been doing this your whole life, and I hardly see anything out there. Now, one of these writers pretty much know who the fuck you are. That says a lot right there. Guys, I don't want this video to go too long. This video really is meant for Red Nichols and all the fucking fanboys out there that he's got or that he's created. Maybe he's created some of them. Since he's created lies about the holsters, we probably created some of those fictitious fucking individuals on the forum. Listen, when you buy with us, you buy with confidence. And every time someone sees this video, they can call from, as long as these videos stay up, there's no more 4 weeks, this, that. You guys are just getting 35% off. We have a full transferable lifetime warranties. We have sold over 250,000 of the original Dirty Harry shoulder holsters. It wasn't just for the 6.5 inch barrel, the Model 29. I did make a mistake on that. But we have sold over 250,000 Dirty Harry shoulder holsters. Not one gun has ever fallen out. These guns have not fucking fallen out, okay? Your mind has fallen out, okay? Something is wrong with you, Red. You need to get some help, man. You need to quit going around writing about El Paso saddlery, kind of writing odd things about Bianchi. Roy Huntington, I care less about him. To be honest, I don't give a fuck about Bianchi either, you know? My dad, whatever, that's their thing. I don't know what the fuck their things. I don't recognize them, okay? And again, this has nothing against Joseph Matthews for who did that rig for me. But in all reality, man, that guy's really good for hardly doing any leather work. Just fucking around with it here and there. And you're sitting here 50 years. I hope you can put little fucking beads in a straight line, Red. I hope you can get something like a piece of bread, fold it, and stitch it in a fucking machine, okay? But what you can't do is make these kind of holsters that real police, real hunters, real civilians that are out there trying to protect themselves and others. I just got off the phone with a guy who wears one to church because of all the shootings that have gone on, right? They're not carrying a Red Nichols Innovation fucking holster. You know what I mean? They're carrying the original Dirty Harry. Right? And they're carrying certain Kydex. And they're carrying there's so many makers that goes on and on. El Paso Saddlery, Galco. Listen, there's so many leather makers out there. Everybody's trying to do their own thing. And while they're doing their own thing, your own thing is trying to fuck everybody up in the industry, which you're not going to do. These guns don't fall out. The only thing that's going to fall out in this whole situation is you, your team, John Whitty, and your book. Because every time you go to write something, and every time you try to defame us, and every time you try to lie about us, and every time you try to get your trolls to write about us, we're going to keep coming back harder and harder until one of us has fallen out. Just like in the military. You just keep running until you fall out. You either fall out or you don't. So with that being said, all our customers buy in confidence. I'm sure some of your customers on the forum are going to be calling us now, right? And, there's not much more to say to that. There's not much more to say to that. Guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you looking at the video. To all my customers out there, I love you guys. Thank you for the love, the support, the likes, the shares. Thank you for the compliments on the website. I appreciate it. We've had people complimenting. We're going to be updating that website constantly. Not that Red Nichols shit. We're going to do that too. We're going to update that motherfucking page. But I'm talking about the website. All right? Like I said, if you like this video or you want to know why this video was made and you're catching it at the end or whatever's going on, go ahead and click up here to see the last video, and go ahead and click up here to subscribe. And with that, we're going to have a special review. I need to ask permission before I do it, but but we are going to have a special review. It's going to be a very short review. It's for a good cause. It's for a good foundation, and they're trying to raise money for this foundation, and it's just a good thing. So with that being said, I'm going to close out. I thank you guys again. Please like and subscribe. Please be sure to share this video. And Red Nichols, John Whitty, you still ain't won. You're still back there. You're still fucked up. You know what I mean? You fucked up. When you cut that holster apart and you tried to fuck that up because you wanted to be right when you're wrong. And we also have proof that the only reason why you wanted to do that was because you might have had a part in making all these holsters for all these different companies, but you never were with my dad, with his crew, and you were never a part of the Dirty Harry shoulder holster. And I have something to prove that if you'd like, and I'll be more than happy to do it. You let me know if you'd like to do that or not. And by the way, all those companies that you kind of worked for and you helped design holsters, maybe that's why they look all the fuck alike. That's why nobody's unique out there anymore. And all these little secrets and things you were told and this and that and all this shit and all this fucking holstery book history, if you're lying about us, maybe, just maybe, they fed you the information they wanted you to think you knew. But maybe they didn't really feed you the real information.